Hi, guys. Okay, here is tip number 2. It's going to be more important than ever that you have the right kind of ID in 2023. Now, there's going to be easier ways to get it. If you have had a previous passport, you can do a renewal online. It's going to roll out very shortly here in estimated first quarter of 23. If you have not had one, then make an appointment. If you're local where we are in Central North Carolina, I prefer going to the Elon post office because they do everything there. They're fast, efficient. Um, you take the right information in, and it's completed right there for you. And they seem to get it back a little faster than the 11-week average turnaround that is current right now. The reason I mention that is people said, well, that Real ID is going to come up. Well, if you've been watching me online, the Real ID was extended, and now it's not going to be required until 2025. So spend that money and get your passport, because if there were a fantastic deal on, say, a cruise out of Charleston or out of Norfolk, and you really wanted to go, but you were concerned, it's not that a passport is required to go on a cruise. It is that a passport is required if you had to get home from a trip. You cannot fly back into the US without a passport. So you would have to wait and return with that ship. And if it was at a family emergency, or just about any kind of emergency, days count. Get your passport. We don't know what this world is going to be like. And I really suggest for all of us to have a passport. It doesn't cost that much. It's when you go into Europe next year, everybody's going to be fingerprinted. Starting in May of 23. So if you've been hesitant to, well, I just don't want to put all my information out there. Well, if you're going to travel, your information is going to be out there. So have it done in the right way, and do it now before it hits the masses, where, okay, now to get into XYZ, even by cruise ship, you have to have a passport. It can happen. China's making some strange moves as their return to a new variant, a COVID variant, is causing alarm. So I really think you should have the best credentials you can in documentation, and that's going to be a passport. That's my tip number 2. If you already have a passport, I don't need that tip, Melinda. Okay. My tip is, before you leave to go on a trip, take a picture of your passport, take a picture of your traveling companion's passport, and send it to your travel agent. Because I have been able to get a temporary passport in order to travel from a photo that I had before they ever traveled, and it would be very challenging to get one on your own. Hey, this is another good reason to use a travel agent, because that's one of the things. We're your advocate. So, passport, identification, think about it differently in 23. I hope you don't have to use it. But man, if you didn't know it, that's when it becomes the most critical. Thanks. Remember, not a travel agent. You're on your own. Ciao. See you tomorrow.